Hey guys, my name is Alex, and today I'm going to be reacting to the 5 types of sex men dream about according to Matthew Boggs and company. No room for nuance here.
We're going to be talking about 5 types of sex that men dream about.
So I'm going to see what they got right, what they got wrong, try to give them some constructive criticism. Maybe everything's perfect, but let's hop into it. Now, I don't want to exactly tear them down. The purpose of this is to kind of cut through any misinformation and help you guys create the best sexual experiences you possibly can.
When dreaming up this video, I thought, you know what? I better bring you the sexiest man I could find. So I brought you Mark Rosenfeld.
Too complimentary.
To bring this two together.
So right off the bat, I'm noticing that Matthew's special guest Mark here has similar hair to me, and I just have to say that's an instant credibility increase. Trust me, if you're giving sex advice online as a guy, you have to have long flowing luscious hair.
So we've masterminded this. In another video I did, we talked about sex secrets that men crave. One of those is variety. So these 5 types of sex actually illustrate the kinds of variety that men are craving or dreaming about.
Now this is a video tailored toward women, so I guess the idea is to give this video to your significant other if you're a guy. Say, hey, go watch this video, and then let's meet in the bedroom later. I guess it's supposed to be kind of like a subtle way of saying I want you guys to do these things during sex without actually having to talk to them. We'll see. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong completely. If you're not currently injecting variety into your sex life, then you're missing out. Basically, the human brain is programmed to respond to novelty in sex, which means any new experience is going to be that much more arousing and psychologically stimulating. So anytime you're kind of breaking your traditional relationship mold that you might be in and you're injecting variety, it's going to make the sex that much better. So he's exactly right on that. Add some variety to it. It doesn't have to be a complete change in what you're doing. Maybe subtle things that you're changing throughout. Less foreplay, more foreplay. Just little subtle things that kind of change the mold.
Number 1 is turtle sex.
Did I just hear that correctly?
Turtle sex. Now, bear with me here because women often think that men just want the hard, the fast sex. We just want to go straight into it. Have you ever seen a turtle actually having sex? If not, have a look at this. When a turtle's making love, there's this sensuality, right? And connectedness, where he's legitimately connected to his body and looking into your eyes. It's, all joking aside, it's actually really rare.
So the first type of sex that men dream about is turtle sex. So this is their number 1 type of sex that men dream about, turtle sex. And what he says about it is not bad in any way, because what he's trying to hit on is the whole idea of sensual sex, super emotional sex where you're with a partner, you're loving, you're maybe looking into each other's eyes. It's kind of this really intimate experience. If you're not currently doing that with your partner, then definitely try it. It's a way to add variety like we said in the beginning. And it's a way to increase that psychological stimulation because you're hitting on an emotional level that a lot of sex can tend to ignore.
Number 2 is unexpected sex. There is almost anything better than your day going along and you unexpectedly just discover that you're going to have sex.
Sex number 2 is unexpected sex. This is another way to kind of add variety. You're adding temporal variety. You're not kind of planning out every time you're going to have sex. You're not having sex at the same time every day, which a lot of couples tend to do. You're kind of throwing it out there, changing your sexual rhythm maybe, and making it unexpected. That's really arousing. It's a great way to improve your sex life if you're not currently doing anything like that. But again, it's just hitting on variety.
Number 3 is stripper sex. Now, I can tell you, I worked in this industry for a number of years and performed in front of crowds full of women.
In this industry, as in
stripping.
As in stripping.
As in stripping.
You were stripping?
Yeah.
Sex number 3 is stripper sex. I'm not sure that's ever been a fantasy of mine. I think this might be a way for Mark to plug his stripping job. Maybe he's looking for more clients.
Women loved it when there was a guy performing for them. And let me ask you, how much would you love it right now if there was a hot, sexy guy that you were in love with performing for you, but then taking it that next level that obviously normal strippers wouldn't do?
I think what we can kind of gain from this is the idea of seduction, arousal, and that's hitting on psychological stimulation, which is extremely important. It's more important than the physical aspect of sex. The more turned on you are, the more aroused you are, the more present you are in the moment, the better your sex is going to be, no matter what. And if that takes stripping or some kind of seduction technique, then go for it.
Number 4 is risky sex. Anytime you bring in the element of danger in the form of maybe getting caught, in the form of maybe getting in trouble, it spikes the adrenaline, it ups the ante, and everything becomes a bit more intense, and with more intensity comes more pleasure.
So number 4 is actually an interesting one, and it's risky sex. And the reason risky sex is so good for a lot of people is because of that psychological element of we're doing something wrong, we could get caught, and there's that adrenaline to it, there's that excitement to it. If you're lacking excitement in your sex life, it's not going to be as good as it can be if it's always exciting. So from a variety standpoint, doing something that you guys might feel that risk involved in it is a great way to improve your sex life. But what I would say is definitely communicate to your partner before engaging in something like this, because you don't want to go to your partner and have them do something they're not comfortable with that actually pulls them away from the experience. Then they're less engaged in the experience, less immersed. Maybe they're thinking about their insecurities, they're stressed out about it. And if you're stressed out about anything, it could be how you look, what you're doing, if you could get caught. If that's something that's not arousing for your partner, then it's going to have the opposite effect. And it's going to be a really bad experience. Just talk to your partner. Communicate with your partner. Tell them what you like, maybe what you'd want to try, which is one of these types of sex. Ask them what they like, ask them what they don't like, and go from there. The best way to know what your partner wants is to ask them.
And number 5 is quickie sex. So this is a beautiful experience for a couple, and men friggin' love it.
So sex type number 5 is quickie sex, which to me is almost the same concept as the spontaneous sex that they hit on before. And basically what that is doing is, again, you're adding variety into your routine, you're changing up your routine, but you're also adding this element of we have to be somewhere, so we kind of have to have this fiery, passionate experience and get it over with relatively quickly. And again, this is just another form of variety they're trying to add into their sexual repertoire. It's great if you're missing any of these types of sex, then definitely try them. But I would say, in summary, communicate with your partner, ask them what they want in sex, tell them what you want in sex, and do it in a way where you're not being judgmental in any way. You're not saying, oh, I would never try this type of sex. Because if you kind of pigeonhole yourself into these ideas, these concepts of, I don't like this certain type of sex, it could be something that your partner really loves and they would love to try with you, and then you're kind of making them feel badly about liking these things. So just be tactful, display a sense of non-judgmentalness when you're communicating about sex, and find out what your partner likes and then do it. If you're not talking about sex, then you're missing out on a huge component of your relationship. We talk about everything else in a relationship, hopefully. If you're with someone, you're talking about their likes, their dislikes. I don't think that should be limited to everything except for sex. I think sex should be kind of lumped into that. Why would you just kind of shoot yourself in the foot and not discuss these things and then leave it up to chance whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing, and kind of hope that by reading your partner's body language and what they do during sex that you're doing the right thing? If you'll notice, all of these 5 types of sex hit on something psychological, and it's not anything to do with physical. And that's because the physical aspect of sex is not nearly as important as the psychological aspect of sex. So if you're ever trying to improve your sex life, if you're ever trying to make sexual experiences better, focus on how you can make them more psychologically stimulating rather than focusing on body positions and angles and physical techniques. Trust me, the experiences we remember as the best experiences of our lives sexually, we're always thinking about passionate experiences. We're never thinking, oh yeah, the best sex of my life was when the girl was in this certain position and, we were at this certain angle and it just felt amazing and I loved it. It's always going to be a feeling, a passion that you're remembering. Maybe it's the turtle sex, maybe it's the loving, embracing, kind of really sensual experience. Focus on psychological stimulation rather than physical stimulation. Add variety, because variety actually touches on psychological stimulation, so it's going to improve your sex life anyway. And that about sums it up. Those were the 5 types of sex men dream about according to Matthew Boggs. This video has 1.2 million views, which is just mind-blowing to me. I guess there are a lot of guys sending this video to their women partners and in hopes that their partner is just going to show up one day and surprise them with one of these types of sex. Listen, if you want something from your partner sexually, take responsibility and ask them for it. Why leave these things to chance and luck? If you can actively improve your sex life, do it. There's nothing holding you back except maybe your own insecurity, thinking that if you talk about sex, it's going to push your partner away or make them think you're crazy. It's absolutely not. It's the best thing you can do to even make your partner more comfortable with sex and enjoy the sex even more, because you're actually taking the effort. If you're in a relationship with someone and you haven't talked about sex, go do it. Trust me, it's going to improve your sex life dramatically. So that'll do it. My name is Alex. If you have any questions about sex, leave them in the comments below, and I definitely want to go through and answer as many as I can. I want to help you guys. I want to kind of cut through the misinformation that exists online about sex and sex tips and sex advice, and give you guys the best, easiest way to improve your sex lives forever with any partner. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.